A few years ago, I was working in the Australian outback for my PhD research, and I heard some odd thumping noises coming from the other side of a small ridge. It was two male red kangaroos grappling with each other, occasionally leaning back on their tails to deliver an emphatic kick to the other's belly. After a few minutes, one kangaroo decided he'd had enough and turned away. The other chased him briefly, then returned to the small group of female kangaroos nearby. When you think about this interaction, a few questions come to mind. Most obviously, why was it the males competing for the females? Secondly, why did the competition take the form of a physical fight, rather than some other form of interaction? In this video, we'll look at what sorts of competition occur and how they operate. Normally, males compete for choosy females, but towards the end of the video, we'll also talk about when we expect these sex roles to reverse. The most obvious type of competition is direct fighting. A familiar example comes from ungulates, such as the red deer, where males compete using their antlers as weapons. We know that antlers are important for competition because shed antlers correlate with lifetime reproductive success. Males with relatively bigger antlers sire more offspring. Weapons such as antlers are often the most variable trait in species possessing them, because they're so crucial to male reproductive success. Of course, fighting isn't always the best way to solve disputes. Both parties expend energy and risk injury, making regular fights extremely costly to males. One way around this is an escalating display. Males can avoid many of the costs of competition if they begin with some non-violent interaction, allowing them to size each other up, and only progress to physical conflict if the outcome seems too close to call. In red deer, males first engage in roaring contests, and they walk back and forth beside each other, and only then fight if one does not back down. When direct male competition is especially fierce, it can become difficult for smaller males to gain any reproductive success at all. In these cases, males are selected to adopt alternative reproductive strategies. Rather than entering a fight they know they'll lose, males will sneak matings with females while the dominant male is fighting, or even imitate the appearance and behavior of a female to avoid the male's attention. One marine isopod has three types of males. Large alpha males compete for and guard harems of females. Medium-sized beta males mimic females to gain access to the harem, and tiny gamma males sneak in. The success of each type of male depends on how many females are present. Competition does not stop when a male successfully mates with a female. In many species, there's also a hidden battle in the form of sperm competition. Females can mate with multiple males during each reproductive cycle, and so sperm must often compete with the sperm of other males to fertilize the female. Male adaptations to sperm competition come in three main forms: producing more sperm, removing rival sperm, and guarding females to prevent multiple mating. Across taxa, males in species with greater potential for sperm competition have larger testes. A good example of this comes from the great apes. Female chimpanzees have multiple mates, while male gorillas can prevent other males from mating with their harem. The high levels of sperm competition in chimps and the lack of it in gorillas probably explains why chimps produce more than 200 times the amount of sperm that gorillas do. Males can also increase their chance of paternity by removing the sperm of previous mates. In the dunnock, males perform an elaborate display prior to mating, in which they stimulate the female to eject any sperm already present. Males invested more effort into these displays when another male had spent more time near their mate. Mate guarding often involves simply blocking other males from mating with a female during her fertile period. An alternative strategy is to use copulatory plugs, structures that block the female reproductive tract so no more sperm can enter. These occur in several rodents and primates, but also in reptiles and arthropods. Males competing for choosy females is indeed the norm, but these default sex roles aren't entirely fixed. In some species, females are the ones competing, and males are the ones who are choosy. We should expect this to happen whenever males are limiting female reproductive potential, because it's female restriction of male reproductive potential that is the reason that males usually compete. A good example of this is the jacana, a tropical wading bird. In jacanas, females are much bigger than males and compete with each other to collect a harem of males to incubate their eggs. Jacana females can produce more eggs than they can incubate, but one parent is sufficient to raise a single clutch. As a result, After mating, females can achieve greater reproductive success by finding more mates, leaving each to incubate a clutch of eggs and then rear the chicks. Males are the limiting resource, and hence female jacanas hold territories and compete for males. In this video, we've seen several examples of both overt and cryptic competition, and how they can be important. In both mating and non-mating contexts, it's crucial to remember that the most obvious behaviours are often only part of the story.